Okay, welcome back for day 4. Today is our heating practices day. So, these ones, especially, if you've wondered why I've made so many disclaimers so far, these ones are why. Typically, we are already running a little bit hot as human beings, perhaps a little bit acidic, a little bit warm, a little bit tight, a little bit inflamed. It is what our lifestyles and our world unfortunately promote. Doing more, continuing to do more, working out harder, faster, eating the spiciest foods, needing to have stimulation. So typically, most of our diseases end up being acidic in nature, inflammatory in nature, pressurized in nature. So if you do have any of these things going on, please consider not practicing these. Again, I am not a doctor, I am not a therapist, I am a yoga teacher, so not to diminish yoga teachers, but we have to make those disclaimers, and I do mean them. I don't want to suggest that you take a practice that might not be beneficial for you, and these ones are the ones that tend to be a little bit more to one side or the other, heating or cooling. They are not our balanced breath, they are not our calm diaphragmatic breathing. These are the ones that start to affect the most change, for better or for worse. So we do want to practice them correctly and only when we know we are safe to do so. Practicing these in the summer or in a hot environment, unless you are extremely slow, sluggish, or kaphic in dosha or nature, not recommended. If we're already hot, if we're already spiced, if we're already acidic, adding more heat is not what we want to be doing. We'd actually rather be adding the cooling, passive, and grounding techniques. So, if you're watching this as it's coming out, it is springtime. This is a cleansing time. It's a time of allergies. So, today is not a bad day to be practicing this. If you're at the end of July or August, judge how you're feeling and what environment you're in right now, please. So, as this is heating and cleansing, we'll be focusing our awareness as we take these techniques on the navel center. It's difficult to describe because Kapalabhati, the first one we will be practicing, is actually also considered a kriya, a cleansing technique, a purification technique. In some schools of thought, it's considered both. In some, it's just kriya. So, also, different schools of thought, different opinions. Please know that. There's my disclaimer. Kapalabhati is going to be focused at the navel with the physical body, with the energetic body, purifying here the internal organs, the digestive system, helping heat. We're also going to feel it most at the forehead or at eyebrows center. It's also called the skull shining breath. Bhastrika, which is strictly pranayama, not a kriya. We are going to be taking inhale and exhale both forcefully at the navel. We will also feel this at the navel. As with other techniques, please do not practice this if you've just eaten. Please do not practice this at night, as it is a heating practice, an awakening and cleansing practice, not a let's calm down and get ready for sleep practice. So please keep that in mind. We will center taking a few breaths of our Samavriti, even length, Dirga breath, 3-part breath. Find your tall, comfortable seat. Pardon. I'm not editing these because that's not how I roll. Blink your eyes back open. If you don't have them, go grab some Kleenexes because you might want them. Sorry, just being honest. Now, please take your tall, comfortable seat. And find your slow breath. Maybe a couple really deep breaths. I find that I need to raise my shoulders. I need to raise my collarbones for a little while just to get that sigh of breath in. And then we can start to be a little bit more calm and relaxed with it. Now, please blink the eyes open. So Kapalabhati. Forceful exhale at the navel. Also, if you are pregnant or menstruating, these practices are not recommended with intensity. depending on what point of your cycle or pregnancy you are in. Please keep that in mind. Exhales with intensity. Inhales for Kapalabhati are just a natural rebound. So it will look like this. So you may hear both inhale and exhale, but the exhale is the only one I am doing purposefully. It is a sharp type of exhale, though again, like Ujjayi and most others, still breathing in and out of the nose. So as you do this, as you start to, it's okay if the abdominal muscles start to fatigue. That's common. That's all right. With more practice, the duration ideally would get longer if needed. But as this is a heating practice, a cleansing practice, more is not always better. More can be too much. So please be aware of that. So practicing it together, let's just take 3 slow ones at first. The first inhale, do not gasp as you're about to expel all of that air. Take a gentle inhale to begin. 3 times slow, about 1 per second. And breathe normally. Now, as that was very slow, it might have felt as though we were taking the inhale, but as we do speed it up, the inhale will become a little bit more of a rebound instead of a purposeful intake. So let us try 6. Maybe faster, slower if you need to, please. Gentle inhale to begin. Breathing normally after our 6. So already maybe you start to feel a little bit of heat, a little bit of warmth. If you're feeling a little anxious, maybe take a pass on this one for now. If your stomach's upset, if we're getting dizzy, again, back off. If you'd like to, I'll do this again 9 times. You're welcome to pass again or return to a different technique we've already done you felt beneficial. 9 times. After 9, please breathe normally. And blink your eyes open if they're not. So I tend to run a little bit hot. I'm filming this in the afternoon, so I'm being a little naughty. But I do only practice this in the morning. I practice it before Nadi Shodhana, Anulom Viloma, other more passive techniques. If you're combining practices, again, please only do that under the supervision and direction of a teacher. These are supposed to be balancing for your current state and condition, not just willy-nilly practices, which is why these are an exploration of pranayama. So if you are doing this in a practice, if it becomes too heating, maybe this is not the practice for you. You can also take pacifying practices afterwards if you've done this accidentally and all of a sudden feel, oh, maybe this is not the practice for me. What do I do now? A wonderful remedy is always going to be our deep balanced breath, is always going to be our alternate nostril breathing, or Chandrabedana, as we already learned, is the more passive and calming of the two. If that's the case, please practice that. If you'd like to, Bhastrika, even more heating. This one, even more energy at the navel, more cleansing. Also, if you've noticed, very cleansing for the mucous membranes, the respiratory system, the sinuses. So if you need to blow your nose, don't be surprised. That is also normal. If you are having periods of allergies or a cold, some type of sinus issue, these are really best done preventative rather than curative in the case of like excessive mucus, excessive kapha. So please do know, practice this before it gets too bad, and maybe practice this once we're just about over it. Practicing it in the middle when you cannot breathe, not recommended. So for Bhastrika, more heating, more active, again, kind of an amplified form of Kapalabhati. we will be purposefully taking the inhale and exhale. Bhastrika, also known as bellows breath, like that triangular, I guess there's different shapes, old school instrument that you would use to fan a fire, kind of that accordion shape that inhales and exhales at the same time. We'll be doing the same thing. Again, in and out through the nose. Forceful exhale. Oh, the words have power. Energetic exhale. It is forceful, but please do not after your breath. Please be gentle. Gentle enough. Forceful exhale, forceful inhale. So we are going to take this one again to not shoot anybody through the roof or burn anybody up. Please take this 3 times and then we'll pause and see what's going on. So a gentle, passive inhale again, knowing that we will have to expel all that we just inhaled 3 times. Gentle inhale. Forceful for 3. And breathe normally. First time's always kind of weird. If you already feel discomfort, please pause here. Go back to a calming breath. If you'd like, let's try 6 times. So it will be inhale, exhale for 1. Gentle inhale to begin, and then 6. After 6, breathe normally, please. So if you're feeling anxious, if this is stirring you up, this can be vata inducing, can be a little anxiety inducing. If gasping after the breath, if you have asthma, tends to not be comfortable, you may already be feeling that. Please do be careful. If you are, please pause. If you'd like to, let's take 9 and then we will be done with this breath. Gentle inhale. 9, please. Please breathe normally. Now, let us all please take Chandrabedana. Again, pointer finger and middle finger to the heel of the hand or at third eye. Please close the right side of the nose with the thumb. Inhale through the left side of the nose. Close the left side of the nose. Exhale out the right side of the nose. Switch to do the same pattern. Inhale through left side. Exhale through right side, please. Same, inhale left. Exhale right. Please take your own rhythm as we let the breath slow and calm. Please rest both hands onto the legs. Breathe normally through both sides of the nose. Deep belly breathing. Passive, slow, relaxed breath. And please gently blink the eyes back open so you probably feel very awake. I do hope you do not feel too awake or too anxious after that type of breathing. Again, sometimes we don't always know how these techniques are going to affect us until we've practiced them, which is why we're practicing them in very short increments. Not 2 to 5 minutes. Kapalabhati is actually not recommended for 5 minutes, but some of them are. Some of them are recommended for longer periods of time. But this is why we're taking small, accessible chunks of the breath and not taking a full practice of it because we might not know the effects. Hopefully you are starting to see these, and we will come back tomorrow for our cooling breaths.